That's what I think. You don't share your opinion.
McKenna, if you want to address the board, I'll put the wish list here. You do it in the front, whatever you want to address with us. Now's the time.
Oh, no, we're good, we're just listening.
You're just gonna listen. You're not gonna participate.
Oh, yeah.
You just came for the excitement.
There's no excitement.
That's no problem. I just wanted to make you aware if you wanna, you're more than welcome. Okay. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Glenn Hefner, you have comments about parking on the southbound 222 corner.
Yes, so, so where the Dunkin' Donuts is there, the tractor trailers park on the shoulder of 222. And I work for Estes. I'm coming home in the morning because I drive third shift. And they do not give a crap. They open their doors in front of you. They jump down out of the truck right onto 222 in front of you. One of these days, one was going to fall. Somebody's got to drive over. And plus, if you come around, I'll stop sometimes on my way home at the Speedway for something, and you come up to Farmer's Lane, and you look to the left, you can't see any of the traffic that's coming. You got to pull out into the lane to see around them, to see if anything's coming southbound, to be able to pull out safely onto the 222. Sooner or later, it's going to cause somebody's going to get seriously hurt with them, way the tractor trailers park there at Dunkin' Donuts. And I drive tractor trailer, and I'm bitching about it because they're just morons. I mean, why have them go around the roundabout and pull up on Farmer's Lane and park there and pull out from Farmer's Lane out on 222. That would be a lot safer than them parking right there on 222 at Farmer's Lane. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Is there no parking signs?
No.
Chief, do you no parking signs there?
I don't think it's
No.
posted.
No.
Can we post it? What do we have to do to post? I mean, I agree.
Right, I'll tell you, that's one of the things when they did the first project at the funeral, they said, how many signs do you want up? I said, well, as many as you can put, because that way they're all looking at them when they are all parking there the way they should. We still have 15, 20 trucks a day parked there. They'll park in the center turn lane,
I know. I see.
going southbound, blocking the entrance to Sheep, leave it there with four ways on. They do the same thing up by Duncan.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's even worse.
I mean, I remember what it was like with 1-2 guys on for 25 square miles. You could enforce it for 15 trucks and then miss the next 30.
Yeah.
It's no common sense or courtesy.
And it's not going to get any better.
Russ, did PennDOT had a post that, I'm assuming?
Yeah, PennDOT put the signs up and it never does any good. They park right at, as a matter of fact, you see them line up and they park straight at. And, it makes it impossible to see coming out of our driveway too, but there's not a whole lot that can be done about it. They're talking about with the next project that they're putting when they do the widening, they're putting a median up. So it'll be right turn only anywhere within these 3 miles they're doing. Which will at least cut the cross traffic, but you still can't see what's coming on your side.
So if we want to have any hope of enforcing it, can we just put no parking signs up, or must we have a study?
Well, you can't just put them on 222. You have no jurisdiction over that. So that's something PennDOT's going to have to do.
So how do we address that? Can we just check with PennDOT? Can we ask them? What's
Do you
the,
know?
I don't know, my guess would have to come from the township, since it's in Richmond, but I don't know the process for that.
Well, I think we have to
Like
find
a
out.
formal request,
Yeah,
if memory serves me right.
yeah, it's a PennDOT road, so we have to get.
At least you would give some type of teeth if the guys are there that they can do something about it. I remember when I stopped to talk to you he was getting coffee, I was getting coffee, and a guy pulled up and stopped right there and started walking over, and he had the conversation with him, like, listen, you're gonna be liable for every single car that pulls out, gets hit, and anything else. He's like, I'm just gonna grab my thing. He's like, right.
Yeah,
It didn't happen that way. He
Wanted
turned
to run
around.
track line.
But it's like, even with that there, they still don't care. It's just, it would at least give you something that the officer can write that is a violation of, as opposed to, you're stupid,
Yeah.
For doing this and taking.
especially, the thing that makes me crazy is when they park in the middle lane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's even worse.
That's insane.
So if they put up no parking signs and somebody pulls halfway out into the lane so they can see around them, then the truck is liable for,
It'd be a contributing factor, yes.
Contributing factor. In the trucks, there's so much liability out there for them to begin with. It's crazy that they let them do some of this stuff, but I mean, I get it. There's not near enough truck parking. But, yeah, I don't know how far that is, Jeff, or what's,
So you think from up, past Dunkin' Donuts down past?
yeah, I would say
from the Speedway to the Dunkin' Donuts.
From the Speedway to Farmers.
Speedway to Farmers Lane.
To southbound side.
Yeah. Actually, where the pullout from Speedway, from their truck parking up to Farmers Lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you, we probably see about half the trucks we used to after they opened the rudders up. And we still see it every day, but it used to be 3-4 lined up consistently.
And there is a lot of push with the state for more truck parking grants and different. There's just the parking's a mess for truckers, especially in this corridor. So it's been a priority of Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association really pushing hard. And there's grants and there's federal grants, but it's hard to get traction because nobody wants trucks parking. So it's the number one issue right now in Pennsylvania as far as issues with truck. And I think it's nationwide too. That lawsuit.
But in this northern corridor, it's a real.
In this
real
northern
issue.
quarter, it's a real challenge. It's a real challenge. So I think at least we can put some parking signs up. It's not too bad. We're trying to get something done. So thanks, Glenn. It's an issue. All right. Approval of the minutes from July 14th.
I looked at them, I didn't think there was anything out of it.
Agreed.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'm second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Code enforcement follow-up on the issue with Crisscross Road.
Okay, Crisscross Road, I spoke with him last week, and Scott and I are gonna go out and meet with them next week. Scott's away on vacation. I think he'll be back later this week. If we can find time, we'll go out later this week, early next week, to meet with them and go over what they can and can't do, because they did call about adding something else, which I'm not gonna allow at this time. So,
Good. And the bee problem. Follow up with
the bee problem, I was over there 2.5 weeks ago. I did take pictures. They're definitely in violation for high grass and weeds. If an NOV hasn't been sent, it will be. Nobody was around, but the place has really gone downhill in a state of disrepair the last couple of years. It definitely has issues as far as high grass and weeds. I'm going to talk to Chris when he gets back about what we can do as far as the bees are concerned. I didn't see any activity of bees, but there are quite a few hives on the property yet. I don't know if they're active or if they're empty, or what's going on with them, but that'll happen this week.
Done.
And then the other property that you had contacted me about was the right-of-way for the railroad over off of Beach Road, and between Beach and Willow Street. I was able to drive through that right away. It was hit pretty bad with the storm. And there was concern from the residents over there that if the road, on Beach Street, if it's blocked by a train sitting there, they have no way out of there. So I was able to navigate the right of way along the railroad track and get out at Willow Street. So I think that's a viable way. Did tell Brian I'll try and talk to Desco and see if they have a piece of equipment that they can kind of straighten it out a little bit. But see if they want to do that. If not, maybe it's something Robbie could do. Just to
Is it in the right of way? Railroad?
yeah, it's right there at the edge of Beach, so I'm
So-
sure if you had your 33-foot right of way, it would be,
It would be okay?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have an issue with Robbie just touching it up. I just hate for something to happen, the train stops there regular and
Yep.
it's kind of a dumb,
piece of,
it's kind of a dumb setup.
It is.
It's kind of a dumb setup.
how often?
I didn't
does
even
it-
realize that was the case till they came to it. I'm like, whoa,
how often
you gotta
does it
rely on-
Stop.
Huh?
How often does the train?
I'm not there, but it's frequent enough that I
Yeah,
would want to
quite-
not be
quite
able to, I would not want to be able to get out of my house
Yeah,
or have the fire company get in or something.
well, then I
But
think.
that's the only entrance and now someone's building a new house up there, right? They just are like, that's the only egress and that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So,
To let a building there like that in the first place. But that's before my time.
I'm not quite sure why they had single tracks through there, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay, thank you.
anything else?
Nope, unless you have something.
Oh, my friend Jawad keeps stopping to see me. He stopped in again this afternoon, Jen.
Yes.
I didn't talk with him today. I was on my way out the door, but still trying to find something that he can do with his property. So far, I've been able to say no to everything he's suggested. I think the easiest thing for him to do there would be build a house. But I don't know if he wants to do that, so. But there's no business in just going in there right now. He's not gonna start that again. So, all right, that's pretty much what I have for that work.
SDO report for July. Do you know where the two violations yet for District 3?
Yes, 169 Virginville Road and 858 Crystal Cave Road. Those still have to get pumped, and if they are not pumped, they'll have citations filed.
And we sent them a letter.
Yes. Yes, and 1432 Saucony did get pumped. We're just waiting on the slip to come back to the office.
Thank you. I don't think there's any other questions there. Any questions on the SEO? Okay, police report.
July recap for Richmond Township. 190 incidents, 21 crash investigations. Conducted 75 traffic stops, issued 68 traffic citations, 3 criminal arrests, 7 reportable crimes, 19 hours of criminal investigations follow-up, and 9 hours of court time. We took reports for assault, fraud, criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, harassment, defiant trespass, fireworks complaint, and noise violations. Personnel, the part-time officer, he's in training, he's doing well, should be released shortly. And another officer, part-time officer, Becca C., he had minor surgery, he's due to return to work on Wednesday, this month. The other thing I have is my firearms have finally been delivered. We're just working on the logistics for getting the training in place so we could do the switch over.
Is that sidearms?
Yeah.
How often do you upgrade them?
We haven't done it in probably it varies, 5, 10, 15 years. So we were long overdue for it. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Chief. Virginville Fire Company report. No questions there. Walnut Town.
There was no report, it usually brings it out.
We have to approve the truck payment, right?
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve that.
I'll second.
All in favor? Discuss the joint meeting that was held with Fleetwood. We had one other thing before I get to that. We had an executive session tonight at 5:30. I just want to make sure I announce that. Joint meeting was held at Fleetwood with the fire companies to discuss. The DCED gave us a grant. We went over the findings before Fleetwood Fire Company, Walnut Town Fire Company, and Virginville. It was a pretty informative report. It's online if anybody wants to look at it.
We also have a copy in the walkway there if anybody would care to have it. Sorry.
And so we went over that, a lot of good information. We didn't really discuss any decisions or the next step there. We had time to absorb what had been discussed. Our next possible step is doing a letter of intent with the DCED to get another grant to do something with the recommendations. What's the next step? How can we implement some of these recommendations? These reports and these findings that they do are non-binding. They just give us an idea, hey, here's some best practices, here's what you can do, how you can implement the next, what they recommend and what it would look like. So I think that's probably our next topic of discussion. So we give a letter of intent to the DCED. Hopefully they give us a grant, tell us what's available, what timeline, and possibly the same consultant would do another report. I think this report took a year. Come back to us and say, here's the recommendations that we have. Here's how to achieve it. Here's what you can do, or here's some suggestions. Still non-binding, but it will give us some more information, and it won't cost the township anything. So I would like to do the letter of intent, see what they come up with the next report, and then we can decide if we want to do anything or not do anything. But as long as it's a grant, it doesn't cost us anything. So, any questions from the audience about that? Fire companies? You guys have any questions?
Yeah, one of the questions I have that came out of that meeting, I know we have the fire tax. And I was always under the assumption being told that under the fire tax, we can't do any soliciting to township residents for anything else, correct?
Correct.
Would that be?
That was policy that was started prior to us when the fire tax was initiated. That's my understanding as well.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back since the fire tax probably went in.
Correct.
Something that they were talking about in that meeting last week was about the third-party mailers. Is that something we can look into the ordinance to open that up a little bit?
Is it an ordinance?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's an ordinance. I think it was just one of the conditions they set up here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know if
don't
that's something we want
know.
to look into, Brian.
I don't know that there's, I think we just gotta ask Chris. From this recommendations, the part of it that, I mean, it goes both ways, right? It was stuff for the fire company, there's also stuff for the township.
Right.
And we didn't want, I think the purpose of that recommendation ordinance was, hey, we're getting the fire tax, don't harass the residents. In my opinion, that was for it. But on the other side of that coin, what they had talked about is all the good things that you guys are doing. It would be great. I think, in my opinion, it would be great if you guys want to pursue that with a newsletter and also some way to generate volunteers, right? I think that'd be a great mechanism to get out there and do that. You know, some sort of community letter like that, fundraising. If they want to donate, here's the opportunity. In a non harassing way, can I say? You know, but some way that's, you know, pulled back, but still an opportunity for you guys to raise funds. I think that would be. I would have to check with our solicitor to see if it was an ordinance.
Yeah.
And if he can do that till the next meeting.
Yes, I have it jotted down to ask Chris.
Yes, but I don't know on my. I mean, I just speak. I don't want to speak for these guys, but I think it's the part that's missing on that fundraising is getting the message out. What you guys do, I see it because we know, and we come. You guys give it to us. You know, the fire companies give it to us. Give us to it. But how many people show up at a meeting? A handful. You know, and then we don't really put it out on our website too well.
Right.
I mean, it's just not. But I think that's the other side. I'd be for that.
I know Jen's helping us out with some things. I sent her.
So anything you want to put on our website, I mean, it's all for it, but let us check with Chris on the fundraising thing. If there's, I think it was just a condition for the fire tax. Say, we'll give you the fire tax, but then we don't want you fundraising. But I don't know that it's anything binding. But I don't know. It's way before my time.
I don't know whether it was an ordinance, but when they did the fire tax thing, they said we're not allowed to. We used to do coin cards, just send it around like we coin cards. They said none of that anymore.
Yep.
Since they were collecting stuff for the fire companies, they said we weren't allowed to.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was
through legal and
right.
ordinance.
I don't
think they did that.
Right.
But
I think that was, hey, this is the conditions. Please abide by it.
at that time, we used to have a contract with the township too that we used to sign every year saying that the fire company were doing all the fire work in the township. That was years ago also.
Yeah.
I think it was included in that. Now, they
But
don't do
that
anymore.
hasn't been something I've seen since I've been here, and I've been here
Sorry, I'm showing my age.
probably 14 years. I've been a supervisor, I think, 14 years. This is my third time up for election. So, yeah, so I haven't seen nothing like that. But my opinion is that, you know, I'd be okay if it's informational too. You know what I mean? I think it's a good outlet for you guys to let people know what you're doing and to generate for volunteers. If you're new to the area, how do you know what's going on at the fire company? And I don't know how you get that out. I mean, I don't have an issue with that at all. You guys?
No.
So we'll get Chris to look it up. We'll have an answer till next meeting.
Okay.
I would say. Yeah, Chris could probably do that.
I would think so.
I'm gonna ask that he has it done till next meeting. I'm not gonna talk for
Yeah,
him.
he's gonna have to probably look in the archives.
Right, I'll look in the archives.
Yeah.
Well, does any, do you know, well, I don't even know, nobody's here, how long the fire, do you know guys how long the fire tax has been?
20 plus years.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it's been like
They did it one time and it's been the same since. Yeah, it's been about 20 years. Because I'm here, I started as chief as 2017 and it was on before that.
And Lyle just left, it was on, I have no idea, it's 20 plus years. I would say it might even be 25.
I don't think it's that long. I think it's less than 20 years, but it's somewhere in between 10 and 20. Yeah.
That's the same way we do it. We did the fire tax and then we got rid of all fundraising. They still have breakfast, but no mailings of any sort. So I think
And is
that's
that,
pretty common.
is that an ordinance for you guys, or is that just this is
No,
what we don't want?
I mean, we levy the tax and that's it.
Just gotta do that as a courtesy.
Yeah, the
The
fundraising.
problem is you guys see how the sewer stuff is. It's hard enough to get stuff from people, yet alone sending out letters of donation to people. It's just, in Richmond Township, it's tough because it's all farms and Mennonites and stuff, so.
And that's.
We used to do, we didn't get much when we did do it.
Right, and that's, I mean, I get the intent, I just don't know how successful it is. That's why I'm fully supportive of the fire tax, and everybody pays, not just some that have
I
the
think
ability.
we paid more for mailing than we did what we got back, I think.
Right. But as far as getting the message out there, I don't know if that'd be helpful for recruitment. But yeah, I'll let it up to you guys. I'll get the official word from Chris next time, and then you guys will know.
The other thing that came out of that study was about being able to bill for calls. We had a third party provider that would bill for calls, but with the way it was written, we weren't allowed. We're not allowed to bill residents and accidents or anything like that. We're mostly looking for the recouping from the accidents. We didn't have the call base non-residents for them to keep us on. So if we had, let's say 6 accidents in a month, but 2 of them, 3 of them were residents, obviously we couldn't bill for them. And the third party billing company says you're not making it, because they take a percentage off of the top.
Right.
We're not making enough revenue for them to keep us on at the same timeline. So that was something that was in that study that I don't know what we can do about that as well.
That would cause probably a little heartburn.
Yes,
For the
I don't
residents.
disagree, but
That would cause
I know
a
it came
little-
up in the study and that's something that we
That would
reviewed.
cause a little heartburn.
Yeah.
Maybe you give me a number of what you think you get wrapped up in that stuff per year.
In
Recoupable costs.
okay,
Like, is it 10,000, if it's 5,000? I
okay,
mean, the heartburn with the residents might not be worth it on that end, but, yeah, I would like to know that, and I get what you're saying, that's what we talked about.
yeah, and
Outside
I don't disagree with
township.
it, but it's just something that was in the findings that
Yeah.
we already tried to rectify it earlier. That was just a finding in there as well.
And I don't know how that works with insurance, if there's a cap on it, but if the residents have to, that'll be a little heartburn.
I know the place that we were using, if, let's say, hopefully, you never get an accident, but if we render you, they would just bill your insurance, nothing directly to you, per se. Like, you wouldn't get a bill from us, it would just be to your insurance company.
Which is the only benefit to the third party is you don't know we're billing, so it wouldn't be known to them, but we've always just not billed
Well,
the township.
it's, I don't,
So it's not-
I mean, it might come up, and here's the example I give you. When the ambulance would send around a mailer, I paid to be on that ambulance thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I had insurance, right? So when the ambulance came, they billed my insurance.
Right.
Even though I paid, and they billed it at the time that was my deductible. So now I'm paying the ambulance fee, and I paid the full amount that was my deductible from health insurance. So that was a little bit of a rub, right? I don't understand. And I said, what's this membership for? Well, it's for the people that don't have insurance. I think I already paid enough for that. So, I mean, I don't want it to work in that degree.
Right,
Even though
I
the
agree
building
with you.
insurance.
But it's just one of the findings that
Yeah,
we tried to fix earlier, but
and I didn't know that wasn't working for you. I
yeah.
didn't know that stuff, because I know we passed stuff and
Mhm.
didn't allow it to the residents.
Yeah, we don't really do it anymore either because it's not worthwhile. We turn multiple ones in, they get nothing from them. It's just not worth it.
I know I paid several with accidents that they turned in.
Just because I do have some background in insurance companies are fighting it. So that is the other caveat that makes it harder for us. There is some legislation and some cases that are coming on the pipeline that could change that, but at this point, insurance companies are fighting it, and that's which makes it even harder for the amount of calls that could be billed on our end.
Right.
May not
But I
be-
think we put teeth in it that it was an ordinance, that if they fought it, they still have to pay it.
Now, according to the insurance companies, there's no statute that allows in Pennsylvania to pay it. So the insurance companies are still fighting it, but it's up to the courts right now with the insurance companies to battle.
That's interesting. Yeah, I thought there was a lot of good information in that report, especially for someone that doesn't have a background in the fire service. So I think I'm gonna make a motion that we send a letter of intent, see if they have another grant.
I'll say.
All in favor? Jen, we'll have to get with Fleetwood, see what they decide, because that was gonna be on their agenda tonight. We wanna do it together again,
Yeah, absolutely.
make sure they approved it, and then we'll get together. I'll get together with probably Chris and come up with the verbiage. Okay. Lifeline ambulance reports. There's a certificate. Calls. Any questions on that? No. I don't see anything here for copies.
Yeah, nothing sent over.
Discussion on ordinance for ban breaker cars in the township.
I was the sponsor of this one. I've been approached by multiple people over the past couple of years, asking if there's anything we can do with the noise trucks on both Fleetwood Lions Highway and 222. And after I talked to these people, I realized that a lot of these people are still sleeping with the windows open. Truck traffic has increased dramatically in the last 15, 20 years to the point now where it's 24/7, 360 days a year. What I'm really, because I live right along 222, is what I'm realizing is that these guys are running big brakes, large cars, modified, no exhaust, no muffler, and they're not using their brakes anymore. Their brakes are their brake retarders. These things are incredibly loud, and they have no respect. This is 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's continuous. So I approached this, I think, all the way back with Gary 10 years ago. So there's something we can do about this, especially when there's places where they come up to a stop sign, like even at the circle out here. You would be feeling their cheeks. I mean, it's so loud, you have to hold your ears. They come in there. I had a case, I was eating dinner with the people out of town at Osgood's last weekend. And middle of a conversation, truck comes down off the ramp there on the brake retarder. I mean, it just stopped the conversation completely. And the waitress said to me, she goes, "Oh, I hate that. That happens here all the time." Then the next Sunday, I had someone stop in from the community, a neighbor, and said, "Hey, can we do something about this truck noise?" I mean, they don't realize what it is, but it's brake retarders is what they're talking about. So I said, well, let me explore the possibility. Now, as I drive through Lancaster and Lebanon and other townships, I see a lot of people are actually passing ordinances banning brake retarders in the township. I mean, I see that like quite often now.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something that we could consider. But even the way I look at it, even if we didn't get enforcement, which we probably would, if it cut it down by 30 or 40%, I would consider it a win at this point. Now, what we'd have to do, if Chris was here, I would run it past him.
Okay, I have comments from Chris actually
Yeah.
about this, so.
Yeah, and I'm sure Scott would have some input on that as well. But I know we discussed it with Gary before, and then I kind of forgot about it for a while. But now I've been approached again a couple times, and I don't know if that's something we have to do. I'm sure it's something that we'd have to get involved with PennDOT and make a formal request. But
Along with the no parking signs.
along with the no parking signs. But it's something that I think it's not going to get any better. The truck traffic is increasing, and now probably 50, 60, 70% of the trucks out there can use their brake retarders and you don't even know it.
That's the disappointing part.
I was just gonna say is, I drive for Estes and I drive a 2025 International LT, and
You don't.
it's louder for me to pop the brakes and set the brakes than when I got that engine brake on high because it exhausts out the bottom.
So that's the disappointing part. We're gonna punish the people that are doing the right thing for a couple of outlaws that have absolutely no respect and no common sense, like park in the middle, park on the thing. And you can pick them out,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
and listen, I get it, and you wanna look cool, and you wanna be cool, but it's just ridiculous.
And the irony of it is, it's, what do you say?
You
It's
think
a
that,
switch.
you think that's
It's a
why
choice.
you ought to be in the tunnels when they turn them off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Out on the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Oh,
That
yeah.
makes the
It
bricks
rattles
fall.
your teeth.
Yeah, sometimes I've almost jumped out of my seat when people come up beside me and hit them. I mean, it just scares the daylights out of you. So that is not necessary for them to be that loud?
No,
No.
it's probably not even legal.
Yeah.
Is it something in newer trucks that you don't
No,
No, it's the older
It's the old-
modified trucks.
modified,
know?
deleted.
The older ones
All,
that have the
yeah, the old gliders that they
Yeah.
build up. And they have enormous engines in them, and they're totally unrestricted.
And unraveled and everything.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, I think I did a noise study on them once. It was like 110 dB at 100 feet. It's to the point where you'd have to wear ear protection legally.
Yeah.
If it was an OSHA thing. So, and it's just, it's more of an irritation than anything else. But I never thought about the fact that there's people that don't have air conditioning and are sleeping with the windows on. And as you get older, sleeping becomes an issue anyway, and then they have to listen to this all night long. People that live closer to the railroad tracks than they do like to the Fleetwood Lands Highway. They said they're offended more by the truck brake retarders than they are by the train. So I said, I will see what I can do. But I told him,
Yeah, Chris sent me an email this morning after seeing this on the agenda. He's not sure this is practical since brake retarder prohibitions must be based on a study of road conditions. At the time, he thinks the road grade must be less than 5%, but that's something he would have to look into.
yeah, that's what we went
Yeah,
through.
she also would have, we would also need to do a little bit with approval from PennDOT, as was mentioned earlier. So his recommendation is, if the township's interested in pursuing this, is to authorize the Board of Supervisors to let us research what would be required to create a brake retarder restriction on some or all of the township roads and see what we need to go from there.
Fortunately, a majority of the ones that are problematic are the state roads.
Right.
And I think,
This might be-
it was before that if there was anything over a 5% grade,
Yeah.
it would become a safety issue.
I can't really speak for Chris, of course, but I think
We
this
don't
would
have
be
any
a
5%
beginning
grades here.
step to see kind of what we need to do just to
Yeah, I
get
don't
our
think we have
township roads, and then after that, we would go.
What's the grade of onsite? It's not really-
3.
It's a say, 'cause they do it, yeah, that's what it's.
And truthfully, they do not need to use it like they did. They just want to make noise.
No, they're just,
Yeah.
like you said, the same guys that park at the middle way.
Yeah. I would make a motion that we let Chris see what it's actually
Yeah.
about.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Right.
Or Chris or someone from his firm. Discuss replacement for Ben Kemmer on the planning commission. He's resigning. He's moving out of town. So we're gonna have an open spot on the planning commission. We're gonna probably take any applications or any requests, and discuss it at the next meeting, sign somebody. See who comes in. I think McKenna, you have some interest.
Yep.
So until next meeting, we'll let you know, see who else is interested and move from there, because it's a valuable position that we need filled, someone that has a little understanding of construction and what the township's looking for. So we'll discuss that, put that on the agenda for next meeting to assign somebody. Review Comcast franchise agreement.
Michelle is still working on that.
Oh, is she?
So that- yeah, so that
So we'll
will push
skip
for
that.
next month, yes.
approve refund on real estate reassessment for 194 Weaver Road. There's not much we can do. The school fought it and lost. They got their real estate taxes reduced. So I make the motion that we agree to refund it.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Approve the refund of the real estate reassessment of East Penn, same thing. School district fights it, they take the lead on it, but what their settlement is, so I make a motion that we approve the refund. All in favor? Okay, engineer's report.
Okay,
Scott,
what's that?
Scott
Yes.
Dillon.
I think first we'll start with the Walbert Funeral Home land development plan subdivision.
Perfect.
Since we've got Chuck and Russ here. So let Chuck do this presentation.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chuck France with C2C Design Group. With me this evening is Russ Walbert. As I'm setting up here, I'll kind of introduce the project to you, and then we'll get into the specifics here and see if there's any questions that the board may have. This is the first time that this particular project is coming in front of the Board of Supervisors. If you'll recall, I don't know, Russ, maybe about a year and a half ago, we were in front of the board with a separate plan for land development for an additional accessory building that Russ was putting on his property. This plan, however, is just for a subdivision. There's no land development involved with this particular project. And just grab the notes here. And I'm sure the board is aware of where this project is located. We're right up here on 222, just north of the roundabout. The entirety of the property is about 11 and a half acres or so. To give you an idea of the plan and how we're set up here on the plan, so to the north would be 222, and then to the plan west would be Selma Springs Road over here, and then the roundabout is in here. Here's the existing funeral home for your plan reference. So the property in and of itself, again, is about 11.4 acres. It's divided over 2 different zoning districts within the township. The majority of the property, about 9.3 acres, is located in your RA zoning district, and about 2 acres is located in your C2 zoning district. I'm just going to point out this thicker dashed line here. If you can see it, referring to is the zoning district line. So here's your commercial, your C2, and the balance of this is in your RA zoning district. What this plan is proposing is a subdivision to create 2 new lots plus a residue lot. So the residue lot will be essentially a funeral home. Will remain on its own lot. That'll be about 3 acres total as far as the lot itself. So that lot line is going to be along the front here, kind of come around the side where existing driveway is, come to the back, come around to the back of the existing structures over the property line and back. There's your 3 acres for the residue. Lot 1 is going to be located immediately north of the funeral home. So this is that area kind of right behind the detention facility that PennDOT has along 222. So that's going to be lot 1. That's going to be about 1.5 acres. And the intent for this lot would be a commercial use. I'll get into that in a minute. And then lot 2 is going to be about 7 acres, which is essentially going to be the back half of the lot. And that 7 acres is just going to remain for agricultural use. In fact, we've prepared a non-building declaration with respect to the sort. Not really proposing to put anything there in the long term. That's going to be continue to be an agricultural use. As I had mentioned, there is no land development associated with this currently. It's just simply trying to create lots. Lot 1, as I had mentioned, is intended for a commercial use. Again, we're outside of the commercial district. However, there was a zoning hearing board decision back in 2012. In that zoning decision, it was basically decided that the frontage along 222, the zoning requirements for the, basically the zoning requirements for the commercial district can extend along the frontage to the property line, such that this lot would also be able to fall under the requirements of the commercial district. So not necessarily changing the map, but just sort of extending the zoning regulations over along the frontage. So that's why that is being proposed as a commercial lot, even though it's located in the RA zoning district. We have been in receipt of a review letter from Kraft. This is, actually had 2 review letters. We're in front of the Planning Commission twice. What we have is the current review letter, which we can go over if you'd like to. However, I think for the most part, we're at a state where it's all either will comply on the planning items, the plan-related items, and then some administrative items that would be associated with the final plan. I did fail to mention this is a final subdivision plan, since it is sort of a minor subdivision, we're just creating 2 lots. So we did a sketch plan, and then we're going right to final, so there's no preliminary. The Planning Commission at our meeting had recommended a conditional final plan approval to the board. They had also recommended approval of a waiver that was requested. And that waiver is from section 804.2.01, which basically requires you to have direct access to any lots. In this case, we're proposing a shared driveway along 222. Essentially, the driveway that's there now will serve both the funeral home and the proposed commercial use in the future. Therefore, we're requesting a waiver from that section in order to use to propose a shared driveway. One of the other conditions that I'll bring up as well that the Planning Commission had talked about and Scott had mentioned was the desire for us to reach out to PennDOT and ask them in particular to just give us some informal feedback on the shared driveway. At this point, we really don't anticipate any issues from PennDOT having concerns about a shared driveway.
Can I address that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jess.
So I reached out to Brendan Dahlia, who basically was in charge of the entire last project with the roundabout stuff. He's now head of the district, so he's now in charge of the next one as well. And basically, so we're looking to put a McDonald's right here. She knows that. But basically, what I said last planning commission, just to kind of ease things, we have people that we have agreements with for this lot, and this is Brad Beal. I'm basically going to be handling things with him directly, and our kids, because we'll both be dead by the time any of this agreement would actually be done over 4 years, that it is restricted only to farming. And if he does anything but farming, it reverts back to me because I don't want anything back here that needs to remain farming. So that's what this one is. There's an on-building waiver in place, everything else, so that we agree that that's gonna remain agricultural. This here is being basically what is gonna be proposed, and you'll see shortly, well, the planning commission will see shortly, Jen will be seeing that. Jim Adams, who's my financial advisor, but also one of my best friends, he had a separation of his business a year and a half ago. He's in a temporary location now, and he's looking to put a financial services office. So basically, putting an office there for meeting with his clients and that stuff would be done to the architecture of the same stuff as the funeral home, so that the scheme and everything is congruent with each other. The PennDOT issue, which I reached out to Brandon, he's like, oh, they all want basically, they're looking for the land development side to give any answers, because that's going to be what Jim's engineer is going to be coming with the planning commission and going through with PennDOT. So we have a low volume permit, which allows anywhere from 25 to 750 cars a day. We have 5 to 6 cars a day currently. We might have 10 to 12 cars when Jim's there. So it's not something that they foresee as an issue, but nobody wants to say anything until, because I reached out to Brandon, he basically punted, he reached out to everybody else, and they basically aren't answering because they want to see what Jim's engineer is going to be bringing for the land development. But again, Jim and I, this is something that we're doing in, like, even our, we have an easement agreement that's being done up, which I think was part of the administrative stuff they wanted to see. But we're trying to outdo for each other as opposed to trying to restrict each other. So that's the plans for it. And as far as the PennDOT thing, we've done everything we can do to get that done. I know the other things you're planning to talk about the pins and stuff yet, but as far as what the plan is for the actual property and who's gonna be there, and what the use is. That's what we're looking at.
So then one of the other conditions that was part of this as well, like the planning commission, was whether or not we would place pins and monuments for the new property lines before the plan is recorded or post escrow and do that after. Russ has decided to just have them placed beforehand, which we've already done. We'll just have to provide the letter of certification from our surveyor that they were placed appropriately, and then that would take care of that condition as well. So really, we're just down to, I'm thinking, a handful of conditions that we'll have to address. So we're here this evening to ask the board to consider acting on the planning commission's recommendation for conditional final plan approval, and then also the waiver as well. So I'll stop talking at this point. If you have any more questions for us, or if Jeff has anything to add, we can certainly answer any questions.
So I think the first item before the board would be to grant the waiver if you so desire, that Chuck mentioned. And that waiver again is for,
That's section 804.201, and it's a waiver to allow for a lot to be created, lot 1, without a direct driveway access to 222.
But there's gonna be an easement for the driveway.
Correct, there's no shared access. In fact, if you can see that shaded area that we have here, that's gonna be shared access.
And that's currently in place, that is the driveway, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So my one question is with this new project with PennDOT, are they gonna take any of the frontage at all? Is that part of it, or are they
No,
past
yeah,
that?
yes, I'm sorry, 29 square feet. And I asked if I'd get enough for a cup of coffee. They said not based on the actual calculations, but we have a minimum of $500, which I haven't seen yet, but yes, they took 29 square feet by the billboard. Because what happened is, I explained this at the planning commission, when they did the original plan, they did us a wonderful, beautiful disservice by putting the curb all the way out to here. They kept the merge here, as you can see, but on PennDOT plans, curb came up to here and it was straight grass. So when we're looking at that, we're like, oh, so you put a curb in the middle of a merge. That's gonna work out well, as we all see what they do there every day. So they did a field change and brought it all the way back here from the start, which dropped everything back. That's why they didn't need to do anything more, other than a little piece right up here in the corner, which I'm thinking is probably for an inlet to come into the same retention pond. That's all they took as part of, because they actually came out and we went over all their plans for this whole section, and that's all they're doing. They're not actually changing this stuff here.
I was wondering. I figured hopefully you would pass that.
Yeah.
Pass that part.
well, I'm not a big fan of shared driveways, but you can have an agreement then?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Cornerstone Law is currently working on the easement agreements as well as the agreements that are covering any shared property and so forth.
So the shared driveway will be an easement?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. That way, even though Jim and I feel the way we do, it doesn't matter who's there.
Right, exactly.
Because I need to protect Emily, who's gonna take over the funeral home. She needs to be protected because obviously we're not going to be here forever, so.
Correct.
The driveway, just for clarification, and the driveway will remain on the residue lot, which is the funeral home lot, and then it would basically be to the benefit of lot 1 to be able to access.
So that's the first item to address. If you,
What was the comment from the planning commission?
made the recommendation.
They made a recommendation. I think one of the items that they had asked for, the condition that Russ had alluded to, is the fact that we prepare an access easement agreement and have that recorded, which is currently being worked on.
They're working on
So
that.
that would just be.
Yeah, I mean, under those conditions, I'd be okay. I make a motion to grant the waiver.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
And then the other item would be to grant preliminary final plan approval based on everything being addressed in
Correct.
Scott's letter.
One question I do have, I know it's ag, and the access off of 662, if that lot was ever done with anything, that's a challenge for a driveway, but access for ag should not be an issue, is that correct?
No, that's the access that's been there when Kenny was farming it,
Right,
and Brad's used that access the entire time. He's never actually used the driveway for
Right.
not wanting to take equipment across the driveway.
right, and I'm just, there should not be an issue for ag access. But you don't need that.
Yep.
You don't need that driveway, because that would be the access, and that would
Correct.
create other issues if, and it makes sense if it's just gonna be ag. Yeah. All right, so what's the second? Wait, land development
Final
plan?
preliminary, what is it?
Final, basically conditional final plan approval, conditioned upon the review letter and any of the conditions that the planning commission had recommended.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
All right.
That's it?
Thank you. Yes.
So you'll be back when the McDonald's comes? Or- I'm thinking Wendy's. So
Everybody wants a Chick-fil-A too. right?
Chick-fil-A, that would create a lot of traffic issues.
You mean my worst seller should be hard
Can't
to
be any
do.
worse than that McDonald's down on Fifth Avenue.
All right.
It's down there.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Thank you, guys. If we can definitely follow the brake retarder though, I'm starting to get worried with how loud it is during funerals. It's gonna wake up the dead and it's gonna kill them.
I don't know that
I
brake retarded
couldn't keep that one to myself.
We're gonna go down.
is a crazy issue.
All right,
There, right down.
then moving on to the other items, Willow Crest, Grande, I believe they started work on the lighting over there today. Should be done.
Perfect.
It should be done with those punch list items this week. Then inspection, we should be complete for dedication of roads. So that will be happening. When do you think that'll take place? I think Scott said they should be done with all their punch list items this week. The lighting, so this will go pretty quick.
So they'll be dedicated for the plow season.
Solar farm, it's, I think 45 days ago that we met with them on site. We did get permission from Conservation District to try the restrictor plate. They are going through with it. We did get an email from them today from Heelstone. It will happen real soon, they said in the email that came through today. I just saw it before the meeting. Okay. As your 2025 street road work is complete, and Scott's processing the payment application to determine if there are any punch list items. Your total cost was higher than the amount awarded because of additional base repair on Line Road. Robbie's street budget was well under this year, so even with the extra Line Road, I believe your total, the street budget is about 60,000 under. So you're still in good shape with that. So Scott will have that taken care of for the next meeting. That's all I have.
Okay. Solicitor delinquent sewer report.
Yes, we provided our report. Based on the report we have, we don't see any actions, so motions to recommend this. If there's any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
That was easy. I don't have any. You have any?
I like this. Paid in full, reduced, paid.
We're making progress.
I see progress all the way around.
Update on the generator installation. This was in Walnut County, they probably
You
have
have
this.
a copy of that email. Generator, you're right, man. That's also this.
That's all.
So the last thing I got on this is that they were, everything was in place. And they were waiting to do the conversion over
And that was supposed to happen next Thursday.
next Thursday, yeah.
So we'll do an inspection for that. Either Joe Snyder or myself will do that. And,
For the power over.
yes,
After or before? Probably before.
before.
So who's gonna make the call on the portable generator? That was the only question I had.
I'm not sure if Joe Snyder has done a review of that as far as the size.
Yeah, they just said that if required, they would need a portable generator during the conversion for $1,145.
I'll talk to Joe about that.
But they have a pump there that runs on gas. So I was just questioning the wisdom of, hey, the stuff's gotta flow, I get it.
We can do it without, you prefer that.
Yeah,
I would
plus they
think-
can probably pump it, if they have a full tank, they can hold for probably a day.
Yeah,
Well, then it should just take a couple hours.
yeah, that's what I was,
So you should be good without the
Yep.
generator.
That's what it says, is he's thinking it should be able to run on one pump.
yeah, that one's fueled with natural gas, so. But other than that, it should be good to go. And then there was a question for the control board. He was requesting approval.
This 4270.
Yeah,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Jenny, you're gonna let him know that then?
Yes.
So then we should be good to go there again for a while.
Does anybody wanna guess how old the sewer is in Walnut Town? Was by 2007.
Older than you think.
What do you think? All right, Roadmaster, he's not here. Will you review that? Do you have any questions on that?
Nope. I looked at most of the road work, it looks real good. The tar and chip looks good. I think we should be in good shape going into the fall.
Go ahead, Jen. Payment of the bills.
In the general fund, we have check numbers 12041 to 12073, including EFTs, for $188,336.16.
Motion made.
Go second.
All in favor?
Aye.
State fund, there were no checks. Light fund, no checks. Sewer fund, check numbers 3333 to 3337, including EFTs, for $35,779.46.
Make a motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Walnut Town Fire Escrow, check numbers 2194 and 2195, for $62,001.83.
Make a motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Virginville Fire Escrow, check number 2198 for $1,005.
And I'll make a motion made.
I'll second.
All in favor? Before we go further, with the work being done, must we approve someone to pay those bills before next meeting? How does that work?
For,
The road work?
I think we should be good till then.
I haven't received any
I
final
don't even think-
final numbers.
Oh, you didn't get the final?
No.
Okay. All right, that was my question.
No.
We always approve them a month after.
I also have in your packets the Seltzer Group quote for our renewal of the health benefits, which are going up, the proposed one from what we currently have, 9.8%.
Comes as no surprise.
When does it renew?
October 1st.
What about higher deductible? We have time to discuss that. Not higher deductible for the employees, but the HSA difference.
you go with the higher deductible, we also have to remember we have the medical reimbursement plan, so versus the family. So we would have to evaluate.
That's why I'm asking, should we just kick this 1 month down the road
We can do that if you
until
want.
we evaluate?
Okay,
That's what I'd like to see.
okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
We gotta see if it's cost effective.
Okay.
Okay, we'll table that.
And I have the tax collector sitting dates that Noreen will be at the township office, Tuesday, August 19th, Wednesday, August 20th, Thursday, August 21st, Wednesday, August 27th, Thursday, August 28th, and Friday, August 29th. They will be here from 5:45 PM until 7 PM.
Any issues with that?
Jen, I can take the first three. I'll be out of town last week.
Okay,
I think I'm gonna be here all both.
So you're good till the 21st.
I can take those first, yeah.
I think I'm good the whole time,
okay,
so I'll do whatever.
If you want to do the last three, I'll do the first three.
That's fine.
okay. And the only other thing I wanted to add, PSATS is having a secretary manager summit that I'm going to be attending in Allentown. They're all-day events on Monday, September 8th, and Tuesday, September 9th. Our meeting is on the 8th. I will be here for the meeting. It's just, I'm going to be there for training. PSATS.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, chairman's report, I really don't have anything to discuss. Anybody else have anything? Public participation from the floor. No? Quiet. Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Also,
All in favor? All right.
Unfortunately.
Well, listen, don't worry about your communication.